Hello and welcome. This is Nigeria Today on TVC News. We begin in Kaduna, where relatives of some of the passengers who were kidnapped from the Kaduna-bound train on Monday say the terrorists have contacted them to confirm what their relatives are safe with them in the forest. A very disturbed family member whose mother and sister also boarded that train but were kidnapped told TVC News that no demand for ransom has been made by the terrorists. He said the assailants just called to let them know their relatives were not missing, but kidnapped and are currently in their custody. Meanwhile, 10 injured victims of the attack who were rushed to St. Gerard Hospital in Kaduna Monday night have now been discharged. But those who sustained gunshot wounds are still receiving treatment. They still feel traumatized by their experience, which they narrated to our Kaduna State correspondent, Lupe Asom.
A graduate of the University of Maiduguri, Maimuna Ibrahim, was on the Kaduna-bound train from Abuja, which was attacked by bandits a few days ago. She was shot in the thigh and is being treated at the St. Gerard's Hospital.
So we just start hearing gunshots from both sides of the train, both left and right. Unstoppable shooting. So finally the train had now stopped. When the train stopped, immediately they now off the lights. They entered inside coach 17 and the VIP session. They kidnapped many passengers there, but I don't know how many. So as they were kidnapping them, they were forcing them out of the train, they were flogging them, and they were saying Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. They were chasing them. And they are young guys. They were within around 18, 19, 20, maybe let's say highest 22.
Her father, who is with her, says she went to Abuja in search of a job and was on her way back when the sad incident happened. He wants the government to provide the job for his daughter.
Nothing I can tell is only that whether government will fit to help on what she's pursuing. Now she's a graduate for 2 to 3 years now. She has no work to do. She went to Abuja for looking a job. When she's coming back, is returning back, this is what had happened to her.
10 victims who were also admitted at St. Gerard's Hospital in Kaduna have been discharged. Others with severe injuries were referred to the military reference hospital. Meanwhile, the Kaduna-Abuja highway is now the only option for most travelers intending to get to Abuja from Kaduna. Passengers now troop into motor parks. Most of them refuse to speak on camera. But the drivers who ply the road want the government to deploy more security operatives to guarantee travelers' safety.
To tell you the truth, the road is not secure. That is what is happening now. So they need to put more effort in order to secure the road.
You'll be traveling, your heart, you'll be blinking, you'll be afraid of the road. You don't know what you will meet or what is on the road.
Some family members of the kidnapped victims are now panicking. They say the bandits have contacted them, but a demand for ransom has not been made. Military operatives are also intensifying efforts to rescue others who are in captivity. And Kaduna State government has promised to take care of the medical bills of all who are injured. Lupe Asom.
As the security situation in some parts of the country continues to deteriorate, Majority Leader of the House of Representatives, Alhassan Adodogowa, is suggesting that Nigerians be allowed to bear arms in self-defense. Adodogowa, who is representing Dogowa Tudunwada Federal Constituency of Kano State under the platform of the All Progressives Congress, spoke earlier today at plenary when the House was debating the aftermath of the terrorist attack on the Abuja-Kaduna train. Mr. Dogowa is of the opinion that the security agencies have failed and citizens should not be at the mercy of terrorists or bandits. Another lawmaker, Aminu Suleiman, who is also a member of the APC, in his contribution said the security agencies are displaying incompetence. He wants President Muhammadu Buhari as Commander-in-Chief to live up to his responsibilities and guarantee the security of lives and property. But in swift reaction, the House of Representatives has appealed to Nigerians not to bear arms as suggested by the House Leader, Alhassan Adodogowa. Spokesman of the House, Benjamin Kalu, made the appeal while addressing parliamentary reporters after the day's plenary. He described the House Leader's outburst as a personal opinion and not a reflection of the position of the Parliament. In Oyo State, Governor Seyi Makinde has pledged a sum of 500 million naira as part of his support for the construction of a new Air Force base in Ajia village, Ibadan. He said this during the groundbreaking ceremony of the permanent site of the Nigerian Air Force base, Ibadan. Olaide Oyewole reports.
The 671 Nigerian Air Force Detachment was established in 1992 to provide operational support for Nigerian Air Force aircraft operating in the southwest, as well as ensure internal security in the region. The detachment since then had no permanent site until recently, when the Oyo State government allocated about 58.8 hectares of land for the building of the base so as to strengthen the security architecture of the state. Governor Makinde assured that his administration would continue to partner the Nigerian Air Force to improve security in Oyo State.
Indeed, our administration is committed to partnering with the Nigerian Air Force for a better civil-military relationship and improved security in our states with 500 million naira. It's available, and we want to see rapid construction.
The governor advised the people of Ajia community to be a good host while the construction of the base is ongoing.
So let me use this opportunity to once again appeal to the good people of Ajia community to be accommodating hosts and support our plans to bring rapid development to this area.
Chief of the Air Staff, who commended the Oyo State government for the gesture, said the Nigerian Air Force through this would extend its operation to enhance internal security in the southwest region.
Amongst other benefits of having this new site, the units will be able to undergo necessary expansion to become a full-fledged base and be a staging post to expand the reach of the Nigerian Air Force.
While pledging the loyalty of the Air Force to Nigeria, Air Marshal Amao appreciated President Muhammadu Buhari for his continued support in the area of capacity building, as well as creating an enabling environment for them to operate. Olaide Oyewole, TVC News, Ibadan.
To judicial matters now. The Federal High Court in Abuja has discharged and acquitted former Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, Andrew Yakubu, on charges of money laundering. Delivering judgment, Justice Ahmed Mohammed held that the EFCC failed to establish that the defendant received cash payment beyond the 5 million naira threshold. Judiciary correspondent Celestine Area reports.
On 3rd February 2017, operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) raided the Kaduna residence of the former GMD of the NNPC and recovered a sum of $9.8 million and 74,000 euros stashed in a fireproof safe. Mr. Yakubu was then arraigned before Justice Ahmed Mohammed on 16 March 2017 on a 6-count charge of money laundering and false declaration of assets. After the EFCC closed its case, Mr. Yakubu filed a no-case submission, following which the judge struck out 2 counts out of the 6-count charge. In his defense, Mr. Yakubu claimed that he had received the monies as gifts and escrows in different trenches. He said he gathered the monies within a 5-year period and decided to keep them in his house, pending when he decides to open a business venture of his choice. He is alleged to have omitted the monies from the EFCC asset declaration form given to him to fill in 2015. Delivering judgment, Justice Ahmed Mohammed held that it is one thing to find money in one's house, but it is another thing to prove that the money was received all at once. He described Mr. Yakubu's evidence as credible, adding that he had no reason to disbelieve it. The judge added that the EFCC did not do a good job in its investigation. A prudent investigator would have asked the defendant to provide the names of some of his friends and other individuals who had given him monies as gift or as goodwill, and find out how much each person had given him, and thereafter invite them to find out the truth or otherwise.
Trial started in 2017, and it came to a close today. All we can say is that we give all the glory to Almighty God for vindicating him and for bringing out the truth. One thing is clear, our jurisprudence does not frown at keeping money at home.
The court made a consequential order that all monies collected from the former GMD be returned to him. Celestina Iria, TVC News, Abuja.
In Ondo State, the State High Court sitting in Akure has reserved judgment in the trial of suspected killers of Olufunke Olakunrin, daughter of Afenifere leader Reuben Fashoranti. This decision followed the adoption of final written addresses by counsel in the case, as the trial judge, Justice William Olamide, said the judgment day will be communicated to the parties. Ayodeji Moradeo reports.
Olufunke Olakunrin, daughter of Afenifere leader Reuben Fashoranti, was shot dead in June 2019 by gunmen in Ore, Odigbo local government area of Ondo State. She was buried few weeks after a gruesome murder. Alleged killers were later arrested and arraigned 6 months after her death. 4 defendants, Mohammed Shehu, Adamu, Aula Abubakar, and Lawan Masjay, were arraigned on 4 counts before an Ondo State High Court sitting in Akure. After months of legal fireworks, lawyers in the case adopted their final written addresses. The prosecution team, led by the State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Charles Tituloyi, said they have raised 5 issues for determination in the case.
We have brought before this court for this court to determine whether we approve our case beyond reasonable doubt. And from the evidence, totality of witnesses we have brought before the court and the exhibits we have tendered before this court, we have convinced that a case has been established against all the accused persons, the defendants. They have all conspired together to commit murder and kidnapping.
But counsel to the defendants, Kudirat Badamosi and Obafemi Bawan, in their written addresses, prayed the court to discharge and acquit the defendants.
We have been able to formulate 5 cogent issues of law for the determinations of the Honorable Court, to wit, whether the court could speculate into the prosecution case like an Ifa oracle in the absence of fact as placed before the court.
The trial judge, Justice William Olamide, said the judgment date will be communicated to lawyers in the case.
On Nigeria today, as March, the International Women's Month, winds down, the Nigerian Bar Association Women Forum has stirred more discussions on breaking what it calls the invisible hand of gender bias and championing collective change. Kemi Foladeyemo has more.
To mark its 2nd annual International Women's Day conference, the NBA Women's Forum lined up thought-provoking sessions and speeches from leaders who have recorded key strides in their different endeavors. The event was aimed at unmasking underlying gender biases, how it influences individual behaviors that legitimize inequality, and proffering sustainable solutions.
We should take part in sensitizations and advocacies for change through legislation. We should try to change our own perceptions, because a lot of us are also part of the invisible hands of biases.
You forget about what the institution is doing, what society is doing, but how can you as an individual help other women? Because once we start to do that and we get more women in place, more women showing what they can do, then it's not necessarily people saying, oh, can a woman do it? It's just, this is the best person for the job.
The Nigerian Bar Association now has a sexual harassment policy, and it was facilitated by the Nigerian Bar Association Women Forum. We helped in the drafting, advocacy, and all our ladies helped in the drafting of this policy, which has now become the policy.
Despite the hidden biases and courtroom dynamics, the speakers also share inspiring personal stories of their resilience.
That it's actually your performance that will really allow you to bake the price. You have to always maintain your demeanor and your poise. And I think that if you're able to do that, you will be able to make it through.
In Oyo State today, most of the positions I've gotten or the recognition are coming from men. These were the same men in some years back that said, no, it's not going to be possible. When I opened my law firm, a lot of men came to my law firm to mock me. They were expecting that it will last for a period of time, like 6 months, 1 year. But now my law firm is getting to 3, I think it's 2018. So I'm in the 4th year of opening my law firm, and it's growing. I have male lawyers under me.
Kemi Foladeyemo, Chivas News, Lagos.
Let's turn to politics. A full-time governorship aspirant on the platform of the People's Democratic Party in Adamawa State, Umaru Ardo, has defected to the Social Democratic Party, SDP, with his supporters. Speaking at Jada, where he defected to SDP, Mr. Ardo described the PDP as a lawless institution ruled by few party oligarchs, which should not be given the mantle of leadership in 2023. Correspondent Owolabi Adenusi filed in this report.
The People's Democratic Party now have cause to worry with the defection of Dr. Umar Ardo and what impact that will have on their oath in Jada local government area. Jada is the hometown of the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, who recently declared his intention to contest again the office of the president in 2023. Dr. Ardo, a founding father of PDP, and advisor to former Vice President Atiku Abubakar on political matters, is bitter with how he has been treated in the PDP.
In July 2008, the party was set for primaries to elect candidates for local government council chairman. In my local government, Jada, the election did not at all hold, but the party announced election results with a winner.
It wants Nigerians against voting PDP in 2023 to save the nation's democracy from anti-democratic elements. Dr. Ardo cites the injustice in the PDP and reason why he is leaving the party with his supporters. He says his withdrawal of his membership from the PDP to SDP is a painful action that he had to take despite his commitment as a founding supporters of the PDP since 1998.
And after due and wide consultations, we decided to take the following 2 decisions. 1, we withdrew our membership from the People's Democratic Party as the party is neither democratic nor people-oriented. And 2, we have formally joined the Social Democratic Party.
But a party leader of the People's Democratic Party in the state tells a different story.
Dr. Ardo was never active member of PDP. And for long, we have been following his activities. Not now. He started funding SDP since last year. He's the one who paid for their party office.
The defection of Dr. Ardo, a grassroots politician from the same local government area with former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, may have negative effect on political fortune of the PDP.
Political stakeholders from Sagbama and Ekeremo local government areas constituting the Bayelsa West Senatorial District have bought nomination form for Senator Seriake Dixon. This is in fulfillment of the promise the 2 local governments made last week to ensure he returns to the Red Chamber because of his sterling performance in just 2 years. There is more in this report.
In 2 years, Senator Seriake Dixon has impacted positively on the lives of his constituents. Top political leaders from his senatorial district took turns to speak on the need for Senator Dixon to continue with his vibrant representation at the upper chamber. The Deputy Speaker, Bayelsa State House of Assembly, said after buying a nomination form that Senator Dixon did extremely well as governor and for 2 years did a lot of life-touching projects in the area. He said the Ekeremo people are impressed by his overwhelming performance and unparalleled energy on issues of concern in the district, Bayelsa, the Ijaw Nation, and even the Niger Delta.
He has done a lot, more than enough for the people of Bayelsa State, in particular the Ekeremo Sagbama houses. He has done marvelously well, and that is why we are here appealing to him to come back for the second term. The issue of zoning was something that was never respected in our senatorial district. The Kaduna Local Government Council area, we are using our personal money to purchase this form for Senator Dixon to go for the Senate for the second term.
Senator Dixon, who received and accepted the senatorial nomination form from the leaders, thanked them for what he described as their humbling support and unflinching commitments to the promotion of the interest of the district.
I want to single this act of generosity of yours. And today, after examining the various reasons and the need for steady, experienced hand to continue to be at the National Assembly and in the Senate in particular, for Bayelsa West, for Bayelsa State, and for the Ijaw Nation, I'm humbled to say that I accept this offer.
He stressed that the country was at a difficult period with a lot of problems and expectations, which makes it mandatory for people of experience to be at the center to provide the needed support to the state governments and the requisite guidance back home.
Well, that's it on Nigeria Today. Thank you very much for staying with us. There'll be more stories at 10. Join us again.